Imagine swiping right on a Tinder date. You're excited to meet this new person you've hit it off with. What seems like a great first date turns into a full-blown nightmare. Match is that twisted thrill ride, and I'm already warning you, it's not for the faint of heart. The imagery alone will take a couple of weeks just to erase it from your mind, and it's been weeks, and I can still see it. In short, after watching Match, this will make you swear off dating apps forever if you already haven't done that by now. Now swipe right with me and let's explore this new obscure horror movie that is free on Tubi, thank you Tubi, and see why online dating can be a real horror story.
Total psycho.
In Match, Paola is a single woman looking for love via a dating app just like everyone else in 2025, but isn't having the best of luck. After Paola is matched with a handsome online suitor, she arrives for her first date to discover that this suitor has a house full of dark and terrifying secrets.
He has his papa's eyes.
This new Tubi original horror is directed by Danishka Esterhazy of Slum Party Massacre and written by genre juggernaut vets John and Al Kaplan. Match dives into the dark side of online dating. We have all had those bad dates, even fears of, is this person that we're talking to really who they claim to be? And after watching Match, well, we find out why first dates should take place in public spots. Like, what the heck? Paola, played by Humberly Gonzalez, is frustrated by, crappy dates. So when she matches Henry, played by Luke Volker, with a 93% compatibility score, well, she's ecstatic. I think we all would be.
He calls me darling.
93%, that's pretty high. I don't think I ever got in past the 80s. Finally, someone she meshes with. Now, against her sister's warnings, Paola agrees to his home-cooked dinner invitation the night before her father's big surgery.
Promise me you will not go to this guy's place. Not on a first date.
Honestly, it does sound like a lovely first date, but home-cooked meals? Well, that's definitely like a third date thing you should do, not a first date. First date should be in public in case, the person's a psycho. When she enters Henry's house, well, nothing is as it seems. Turns out Henry is far from average, and his doting mother, will go to any lengths to secure a grandchild.
They really love him for his huge...
The film unfolds with classic horror beats. We see Paola trapped in a decaying house of horrors. It's just like the little details that make Lucille's lair feel alive with menace. Esterhazy's direction using low lighting, often only matches, to keep Paola disoriented. The tone really captures the hope and excitement, of a dating app, the first date that it promises you, the butterflies that are fluttering in your stomach, only to yank it all away and fill your stomach with tar and dread. In that sense, the movie is a twisted parable about modern dating gone wrong. I'm sure you all have stories about dates gone wrong. I definitely do. Now, I'm not going to spoil the ending. Try and keep this spoiler free as best I can, but rest assured, Match keeps layering on shock after shock after shock until the credits roll. Let's break down that opening scene. Match wastes no time in throwing you right into the chaos. Or just like your baseball and they just throw right at you and you're like, oh fuck. First images we see are Paola drugged and strapped to a gurney, being wheeled down this grimy, decrepit hallway. This cold open instantly tells us something bad has happened before we know the why. The flashback doesn't start until about 12 minutes in, after we've seen the heroine in peril. This hook grabs your attention. Every creaking floorboard and flicker of a matchlight in the corridor raises the dread and suspicion of what is going on. When the timeline jumps back, we get to watch Paola's first dinner date play out in real time, which is kind of hard to watch, I'm not gonna lie.
So, music. That pay the bills?
Well, I'm also a server.
God, sorry. I feel you. I mean, I hate my day job so much.
Knowing all along where this is leading. It's a great setup. By teasing the gruesome outcome up front, the film keeps you on edge as you wonder how each moment will lead to that gurney scene. If you think you know where this is going, you don't. Because this movie pulls out all the stops, pulls a serious 180 of what the... Yes, what the hell? What the hell? To where it'll make you keep wanting to watch. But now let's talk about why it absolutely rules. It has outrageous dark humor. For a horror movie so nasty, it's surprisingly funny in certain spots.
They really love him for his huge...
The absurdity of Paola's, let's say, situation, it often elicits dark laughs.
is fiercely attractive. Spanish or maybe Mexican, Latina. That kind of covers them all, right?
The humor often comes from the absurdity of the situation and Paola's reaction in that situation. These twisted comedy beats give the audience a breather from the gore.
How much do you weigh? Because let's face it, you're far heavier than in your pictures.
And make the film a little bit more memorable. It has a very gritty production design. Every corner of Lucille's house is a creepy masterpiece. Production designer Carrie von Lilienfeld piled on nightmares of details, and you can really see the details. The place feels like a demented dollhouse. These tangible, practical set pieces make the world feel real, revolting, gross, like a low-budget Texas Chainsaw Massacre on a Tinder date. On a Tinder date. It also has some pretty savage, great practical effects. Match delivers unflinching gore. Now there is a scene where Paola's rigs a mousetrap on the villain in a truly messed up way. It is very gross, by the way. The camera lingers on the carnage for an icky but funny moment, and this effect is still burned into my brain. I can still see it. The special effects team clearly poured a lot of creativity into every bloody detail. Now, if you love practical gore, head explosions, deformed bodies, and shit like that, well, this one is right up your alley. The cinematography, it's absolutely atmospheric. It maximizes every flicker of light and shadow. Paola's secret matchbook, pun intended, is used over and over. Now, whenever she strikes a flame, the walls burst into dread-soaked silhouettes. This not only ties into the title, but also forces point-of-view shots where we see only what the flame revealed. The effect is highly tense, keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's like being in a match-lit grave. You don't know what's going to pop up next. Underneath all that blood, Match is a pointed jab at our swipe right culture, very heavily handed, mocking the way that we trust digital profiles. It vividly dramatizes the horror fantasies many have about online dating gone wrong. Now, rather than peachy messaging, it embraces the idea with gleeful brutality. It also has some standout performances by Humberly Gonzalez, Paola, and Diane Simpson, who plays Lucille. They are electric together. Now, Humberly sells every second of terror. She does a magnificent job. You really feel Paola's panic and resourcefulness. Lucille, well, is outrageously unhinged.
Oh, you won't have to, darling.
A giggling, villainous mom who sends chills down to your toes. But their chemistry gives the film an additional kick. Now, let's be real. This movie is as heavy as they come. All right. It's got that raw dog, vicious energy of a heavy metal anthem turned into a film. It bangs harder than a Slayer breakdown. It's rugged, it's relentless, and totally over the top. For horror fans who also headbang, Matt provides all the carnage and mayhem you crave. I love talking about behind the scenes fun facts. Like a fun fact, this is written by horror professionals. Match was penned by brothers John and Al Kaplan, writers known for hard R genre fare. They also wrote the gritty thriller Lowlifes, which I highly recommend. Danishka, the director, is famously all about practical effects. Thank fuck. In interviews about other projects, she has noted she fights for on-set gags, like guns with blanks, squibs with the blood. Real practical gore. The ethos carries here. Almost everything you see is real. Prosthetics, fake blood, and hands-on effects. The results? Well, it shows. It's a gritty, lived-in feel you can almost smell through your TV. It's like the decay in that house. It just hits you. Call me a new fan of Danishka. The crew leaned hard into the title pun. Paola literally carries a matchbook in her bra to light dark hallways. Even the poster for this film is her holding a match, which I thought, oh, probably has to do with a haunting or something, but it also pays a little parable to matching on Tinder. Now, every time she strikes a match on camera, the cinematographer built shots around the flickering flame in ominous shadows. This practical trick and the actual match props became a key visual motive, giving the movie an eerie glow with high tension. Production designer Carrie von Lilienfeld had a field day. The film's villain house is littered with twisted child's play and vintage horror toys. Besides the decapitated dolls and moldy bathrooms, that bathroom is fucking disgusting, by the way, great job. These little details creep out viewers before anything even happens on screen. As you're watching this, you can't help but look around because you're expecting something to jump out at you, something's gonna happen, so you do catch glimpses of the sets and how much work they put into it. For my final verdict, metal rating, a 10 out of 10. Disgusting bathrooms. An all-out gore fest with headbanging energy, Match earns a perfect metal score for its brutality, brutal intensity, and unapologetic carnage and shock value. And not being afraid to go to that dark side of online dating. Disturbing factor, let's say 9 out of 10. Now, there's some truly sick imagery here between the dark sexual themes and twisted violence. I'll keep it spoiler free, but let me tell you, it's wild. Replay value, 8 out of 10. It's good. Match is far from perfect, but it's a fun in a warped way. Its flaws aside, the outrageous kills, dark jokes, and strong performances make it worth revisiting, especially since it's free on Tubi. Woohoo! Now, let me say this. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Everyone's cup of blood. But if you love wild horror movies with a sense of twisted humor, well, you'll likely press play again on this. Highly recommend. Check it out on Tubi. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, slap that like button. Let me know your thoughts on the movie if you've seen it. And as always, stay bloody, stay brutal, and keep it metal.